Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. This is Kevin Moon from God's Country. It's time for your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's weather. Now, here's my friend, Dr. Don.
Happy Friday, East Alabama and West Georgia. Is it fall-like outside this morning or what? Beautiful weather outside as the sun rises from the east. Thanks to that cold front that moved through yesterday afternoon, we have a touch of fall in the air this morning. I'll let you know how long that is going to last, when you can expect your next chance of rain, and we're going to talk tropics this morning. There has been yet another major shift in the long-range tracks of our system down in the Caribbean. We'll tell you about that, and also look at your high school football weather forecast for tonight's games across East Alabama and West Georgia. All coming up this morning in your Friday morning edition of your primetime forecast for Friday, September 23rd, 2022. From the Alpha Weather Center, Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. Be sure you hit that link at the top of this video or give Jamie a call today so you can get that cost-free, no-obligation insurance quote. Save yourself some money and you'll become eligible to be a winner here on Dr. Don's Weather. Let's jump right into the tropics. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button and hit that little bell so that when we go live for severe weather, you'll get that push notification. Doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And folks, it's very important because that way you're guaranteed to get notification if and when we go live for severe weather coverage. All right, so here's the dealio. Look at all that, would you? We told you that at some point the tropics were going to come to life, and they have. We have stuff everywhere. The good news is none of that at the moment is threatening the United States, with the exception of tropical depression, or potential tropical depression number 9 down there in coming up into the Caribbean. That may potentially end up being an issue for the United States. Now, let's talk about Fiona. Fiona's moving on off to the north. Nova Scotia is going to have to deal with that. Gaston is heading on back out to sea. We have that red hatched area just off the coast of Africa. That's moving north. We will have to kind of keep an eye on that yellow hatched area, but you'll see it's at a higher latitude, so that really shouldn't be a problem for us either. I think that will take a similar curve back to the north, just like Fiona did. All right, but the problem is number 9, and we're going to show you a product here. There we go. This is the latest cone from the National Hurricane Center. This was just released within the last hour. This was as of 5 a.m. this morning, and you'll see that the storm is at 35 miles per hour. So that's tropical depression number 9. So a tropical storm is likely, and I think that will be within the next couple of hours this morning. So when it goes to storm status, it will be named, and we expect it to be named Hermine. And no, this is not the first time we've dealt with Hermine. We had Hermine come through Georgia several years ago. But the track has shifted back to the east this morning. Now, it has been wobbling back and forth pretty much for the last week or so all across the Gulf of Mexico. And here's the reason why. Now, up until you get a low-pressure system, the only data the computer system has to go on is historical data. Once you actually get a low-pressure system formed, then it can start using live data. So now we do have that low-pressure system in place, and we can start sending those hurricane hunters into the storm and picking up buoy information. We can start giving you a much better prediction on where this storm is going to go because now we have live data to work with. So this morning's track has shifted way back to the east again, and that is good news for Mississippi, Alabama, and most of Georgia. It's not so good news for the state of Florida. Because if this track does verify, then this is going to come in down there in southeast Florida and come right up the center part of the state and probably back out into the Atlantic up there somewhere around Jacksonville, and then it may hug the coast up to the north, which could be a problem for the Georgia coast, South Carolina, you folks up there in Charleston that always flood, heads up, and even up into North Carolina. But that's way down the road. But South Florida, maybe as early as Monday or Tuesday. So it's kind of sneaking up on you down there in the Keys and in South Florida. Now, this is not a forecast, and I'm not telling you for sure this is where the storm is going to go. This certainly could change over the next 12 to 24 hours. They could shift that track back to the west. So all interest along the northern Gulf of Mexico, and I'm talking about from Texas all the way back to Florida, you need to pay attention to the forecast over the next couple of days. Yes, Alabama. Yes, Northwest Florida. You're not out of the woods yet, but I will say that things are looking a little bit better, that this is going to probably be a South and Central Florida storm as we head into the middle part of next week. We're tracking it for you. We'll have more here on Dr. Don's Weather. So current conditions, this couldn't be a whole lot better. I mean, just gorgeous weather out there this morning. Had a cold front move through yesterday afternoon. We did have a few scattered showers around, nothing big. 61 is the current temperature outside. Some locations are down in the 50s. We are in northeast Georgia. High temperature yesterday was 93. We won't make it anywhere close to that today. Fair skies currently at the East Alabama Bee Company in 5 points. Wind is out of the north-northeast at 1, occasionally gusting to 5. Humidity, there's the biggie, 76% this morning, not 96%. So it's down at least 20 to 30% over what we saw yesterday, which makes it feel so much better outside. Barometric pressure, 30.01. We did pick up a trace of rain yesterday with the passage of that cold front, which was basically a dry front. Sunrise this morning at 6:29. Sunsets this evening at 6:38 p.m. Here's your 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. Beautiful, gorgeous, sunny Friday on the way. 79 this afternoon. And for tonight's high school football games, not a cloud in the sky. I'm talking most venues this evening will have a 1% sky cover, which means there will be zero clouds out there. So crystal clear skies with that type of setup. The heating of the day evaporates very quickly, so we'll cool off real nice. I think by kickoff tonight, we'll certainly be down in the mid-70s. And by the time the games are over with, I think we'll be down into the mid-60s. So gorgeous night for high school football all across Alabama and Georgia. 52 your overnight low. Look at Saturday, 82 in the afternoon, 61 for your overnight low. And then here comes another reinforcing cold front on Sunday. Won't be a big deal. We're looking at a 20% chance of rain Sunday afternoon. 85 will be the high. We'll maintain that 20% chance of rain into Sunday night. Maybe early Monday morning at 10%, but back to mostly sunny skies by Monday. 82 will be the high. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, back to the 70s for daytime highs. We'll reserve our right to change the weather forecast on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week because we're just not 100% sure on where our next tropical system is going to go just yet. So let's take a look at that. Here we go with your Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar. No precipitation across Alabama or Georgia this morning, but I will bring your attention to that blue line that is stretching across South Alabama and back over toward Georgia. That is our cold front that came through yesterday. It's kind of stalled out down there, right along the Alabama-Florida, Georgia-Florida state line. And that's kind of setting up a wall down there. So we have high pressure just to the south of it in the northern Gulf of Mexico. So that high pressure and that stalled out cold front is what we believe will steer what's going to become Hermine probably this morning as it moves on up into the Caribbean and then across the western sections of Cuba. And we believe it's going to push the storm back up into Florida, across central Florida, maybe back out into the Atlantic up there somewhere around Jacksonville. By that time, we believe that this low pressure system or this cold front that's draped across South Alabama and South Georgia will start to fade away or wash out. And so then that will allow the storm to move on up the Atlantic coast under the influence of the high pressure and what's left of Fiona. That's going to play a part in all of this as well. So this is the best guess right now. Now, like I said, we just got our low pressure system down there. So as we send the hurricane hunters into the storm later today, we'll start to get more and more consistent data, which will be fed into the supercomputers, which spit out all of these models. So by this time tomorrow morning, whatever track we end up with, you can pretty much take that to the bank and make a deposit. But I wouldn't do that just yet, not until this time tomorrow morning. Then I believe you're pretty safe on banking with whatever the track is when we do our Saturday morning edition of your primetime forecast. Nonetheless, if you're anywhere from South Florida, back up across the Georgia coast, South Carolina coast, even the North Carolina coast, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Louisiana, none of you guys are out of the woods yet. This time tomorrow morning, I think we'll have a much better idea, but until then, you need to pay very close attention to what's going on down there if you have any interest whatsoever along the Gulf Coast or the Atlantic coast. Don't forget to follow us over on Twitter. It's at DSTREN1040. We broadcast all of our weather information on Twitter, just as we do on Facebook, YouTube, and at DrDonWX.com. Which is our home on the World Wide Web. We have a donate button there in the upper right-hand corner if you'd like to help support us here on Dr. Don's Weather. We depend on your support to be able to keep doing this. We're working on year number 4, and we want to continue, but we got to have your support. So please consider helping us out every chance you get. And don't forget, you can get my daily weather forecast over there on God's Country, 90.9 FM, and the classic, East Alabama's classic rock giant, 89.7. Thank you, Mr. Mark Mitchell and Mr. Roger Bell, two businesses there in Randolph County that support us here on Dr. Don's Weather. Don't forget, we are taking the Dr. Don Road Show on the road Saturday week in downtown Roanoke at Fall on Main. We'll be there Saturday morning into early Saturday afternoon. We'll be set up, and we're going to be giving away Dr. Don t-shirts. We're going to be doing some live broadcasting. Just an opportunity for us to get back home and hug some necks and have a good time. Hope you make your plans to join us at Fall on Main in downtown Roanoke, Saturday, October 1. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning. Y'all have a fantastic Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.